Yankees Nation, attention. 3 hot stories have arrived that could shake up the future of our team. Changes in the outfield, reinforcement opportunities, and strategic moves in the starting rotation. If you want to stay on top of every detail of these 3 stories that could transform the Bronx next season, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. News 1. Yankees fans, hold on, because the shortstop situation in New York is more complicated than any postseason. It's 2025. Major League Baseball has experienced another season full of ups and downs, and young Anthony Volpe, the team's rising star and one of the faces of the Yankees' future, is facing perhaps the most decisive moment of his career, or at least the most turbulent one so far. But what is happening with Volpe? Will he recover and shine in 2026? Or are the Yankees considering parting ways with him? Today, we're diving deep into this story. From the injury that changed the season, through statistics, comparisons, tactical projections, and of course, the trade rumors stirring up the New York clubhouse. Anthony Volpe, in his 3rd year in MLB, arrived in New York with enormous expectations. A kid with offensive talent, speed, a strong arm, and defensive potential to become the franchise's starting shortstop in the coming years. But 2025 has not been his year. According to Bob Klapisch of NJ.com, the Yankees are facing a serious dilemma. Continue giving Volpe chances despite still playing a high level. The decision isn't just about statistics. It involves health, fan pressure, and the team's long-term vision. And we can't forget, in May, Volpe suffered a partial tear of his left labrum. He has been playing with the injury ever since. Manager Aaron Boone defended Volpe, insisting the injury doesn't explain everything, but it certainly doesn't make life easier for the young shortstop. Let's look at the numbers that don't lie. Volpe committed 19 errors this season, behind only Elly De La Cruz of the Cincinnati Reds, who had 23. In terms of home runs, Volpe hit 19, placing him 8th on the Yankees 2025 leaderboard. His offensive averages stand at .206/.268/.393. Not terrible numbers. But for a starting shortstop on a team aiming for the postseason, they fall short of expectations. Comparing him with other young shortstops like Bobichet of the Blue Jays or Wander Franco of the Rays, Volpe still needs to develop both defensive consistency and offensive impact in crucial moments. Volpe's problem isn't just individual. The Yankees have been struggling defensively up the middle, and the shortstop position is critical. Each error can cost a decisive run. Boone believes in the player's recovery and prefers not to send him down to the minors. But playing Volpe in the lineup, injured and under pressure, can be a ticket to burnout, as Klapisch described. New York has 2 clear options. Trade Volpe during the offseason in search of more consistent shortstop with immediate impact, or keep him until George Lombard Jr., the franchise's #1 prospect, is ready to debut in MLB, possibly as soon as 2026, offering a new alternative for the position. Anthony Volpe is 23 years old, in his 3rd year in MLB, plays as a starting shortstop, and has a playing style that combines agility, a strong arm, and base-running speed with explosive but still inconsistent offensive potential. His contract is still in the early stage, making a possible trade financially feasible. Despite the struggles of 2025, Volpe still shows traits reminiscent of young stars like Francisco Lindor or Corey Seager, who needed time to mature and establish themselves in the league, but didn't face early career injuries as obstacles. If Volpe stays with the Yankees in 2026, the scenario requires strategic planning. He will likely continue as a starting shortstop, but with a managed rotation to reduce wear and injury risk. Offensive focus may be adjusted, limiting his role in power situations and using an alternate DH on the most demanding days. If he recovers physically, Volpe could improve his averages to around .250/.310/.430. Still moderate numbers, but enough to maintain value in the lineup and give the team some defensive breathing room. If traded, Volpe could join another franchise with less pressure, regain confidence, and, in the medium term, become a star. For the Yankees, it would be a calculated strategic move, balancing future potential with immediate needs. The rumors aren't just speculation. Claypish and other analysts raise important questions. Volpe could be traded to teams needing young talent, such as the Reds, Mariners, or Padres. New York has financial and roster flexibility for strategic moves. Alternatively, the team can wait for George Lombard Jr., who could arrive ready in 2026, making Volpe a high-value tradable piece. Anthony Volpe is still young, talented, and promising, but 2025 has shown that the reality of professional baseball is harsh. Injury, pressure, and expectations don't forgive mistakes. The Yankees have important decisions ahead. Trust the kid, wait for the prospect, or trade Volpe to optimize the team. Each choice will impact the franchise's future and the player's career. And you, fans and MLB followers, what do you think? Should Volpe stay and recover? Or would a trade be the best solution for everyone? Comment below, and let's follow every move of this story together in 2026. News 2. Yankees fans, pay attention because the outfield market could be entering an interesting new chapter, and Nick Castellanos is at the center of this story. The Phillies are moving toward one of the top playoff spots in the National League, but with the arrival of Harrison Bader and the efficient rotation between Max Kepler and Brandon Marsh, Castellanos' future in Philadelphia has started to become uncertain. Rumors are circulating that he could be traded, even if it means giving up part of the $20 million he is set to earn next year. Now, imagine the opportunity for the Yankees. Cody Bellinger had a rebirth season, but the final year of his contract could lead him to seek a new destination in free agency. If Bellinger does leave, the Bronx will need a high-level replacement in the outfield, and that's where Castellanos comes onto the radar. MLB analyst Jim Riley suggested he could be the ideal piece, taking on a left field role and providing a solid bridge until a promising prospect Spencer Jones is ready to shine. Let's talk about the player. Nick Castellanos is not just a veteran. He is a consistent hitter with power and the ability to make an immediate impact. He can cover left field reliably, helping to balance the team defensively while maintaining offensive production. For the Yankees, this is exactly the type of player that keeps the team competitive while new talent prepare to take over key positions. From a strategic perspective, this move makes sense. Castellanos would bring experience and reliability, something essential in decisive games throughout the season. Despite still playing at a high level, it would allow the Yankees to adjust the outfield rotation, balance their batting lineups, and still leave room for Spencer Jones' development, ensuring a smooth transition between the current generation and the franchise's future star. Additionally, Castellanos' presence could reduce pressure on the other outfielders, providing more tactical flexibility for Aaron Boone. He could be deployed in strategic games, on rest day for other players, or even as a starter in critical matches. It's a short-term solution with immediate impact. Exactly what the Bronx needs if Bellinger decides to explore free agency. In Philadelphia, the decision to trade Castellanos also makes sense. The Phillies have young talents like Bader, Kepler, and Marsh, and creating space to optimize the outfield rotation is part of their playoff planning. But for us Yankees fans, this situation represents a golden opportunity, bringing in an experienced hitter with power and defensive skill without compromising the team's future. So, Bronx fans, the question is clear. Would Castellanos be the right reinforcement to replace Bellinger? Could he be the piece that keeps the Yankees competitive and balanced while Spencer Jones prepares to take the lead in the outfield? It all depends on free agency decisions and offseason negotiations, but on paper, it makes a lot of sense. And you, Yankees fans, what do you think about this possibility? Would Castellanos in the Bronx be the perfect fit, or should we wait for another alternative? Comment below, share your opinions, and stay tuned because this story still promises to shake up the future of the Yankees outfield next season. News 3. Yankees fans, hold on because the name Paul Skenes has entered the Bronx radar, and the possibility of strengthening the starting rotation with the National League Rookie of the Year has excited and at the same time worried many people. The Pirates made it clear they had no intention of trading Skenes, a generational talent, at the July deadline. But even so, several teams inquired, and the New York Yankees were among them. According to John Heyman of the New York Post, the Yankees would be willing to put some of their most promising prospects on the table to try to make the deal happen. We're talking about George Lombard Jr., the franchise's #1 prospect, and Spencer Jones, #3, both with enormous potential. It's unclear whether New York would consider offering both together or just one. But in any case, any attempt to acquire Skenes would require a very high price. Let's look at these prospects' numbers to understand what's at stake. Spencer Jones, a 24-year-old outfielder, currently ranks 87th on the MLB pipeline prospect list. He comes off a solid minor league season with combined .271/.358/.567 batting line, 33 home runs, and 409 total bases between AAA Scranton/Wilkes-Barre and AA Somerset. On the other hand, George Lombard Jr., just 20 years old, is a fast, promising infielder ranked 24th overall, with a .236/.368/.383 batting line, 9 home runs, 48 RBIs, still playing at a high level, stolen bases in 129 games between Somerset and High Hudson Valley. 2 undeniable talents, still young and developing, representing the Bronx's future. Now, comparing that to Skenes, it's easy to see why the Pirates aren't inclined to trade him. The young pitcher has been simply dominant. A 1.92 ERA, 2.52 FIP, and 203 strikeouts in 178 innings across 30 starts this season. He has been Pittsburgh's main bright spot, even with the team finishing last in the National League Central with a 64-83 record. Trading Skenes for 2 prospects, even promising ones, would frankly be a huge risk for the Pirates. From the Yankees' perspective, aiming high is understandable. Every fan knows that reinforcing the starting rotation is crucial for a team seeking playoff stability. Skenes is undoubtedly a generational talent and could instantly transform the Bronx's pitching staff. But the reality is that acquiring him would require more than just 2 prospects who are still outside the MLB's top 20 overall. New York's production system would need to be much stronger, and the team would have to be willing to sacrifice future assets for an immediate reward. It's also worth noting that the Pirates see Skenes as the cornerstone of their future. Instead of trading him, Pittsburgh's most efficient path would be to build a competitive team around him, increasing the pitcher's value while preparing the club for the playoffs in the medium term. In other words, any move involving Skenes would be strategic, not impulsive. For Yankees fans, this news is both exciting and challenging. It's a reminder that aiming high requires patience, planning, and often significant sacrifices. Skenes is the kind of talent that can change the course of a team, but he won't come cheap, and he might not even be available. Still, Seeing that the Bronx is willing to consider prospects like Lombard Jr. and Spencer Jones shows that the front office is thinking big and wants to compete on equal footing with the league's best. In short, Paul Skenes is on the Yankees' radar, but the trade is extremely complicated. To acquire the young favorite for the National League Cy Young, New York would need to strengthen its production system, give up valuable prospects, and be prepared to pay a high price for a generational talent. It's an exciting scenario, but one that requires strategy and patience. And you, Bronx fans, what do you think? Is it worth sacrificing part of the future for Skenes' immediate talent? Or would it be better to wait and develop the prospects within the system? Comment below, share your opinions, and let's follow every move of this story together, which still promises to shake up the Yankees offseason. So, Yankees fans, what do you think of these three news stories that could transform the future of our team? Outfield reinforcements, possible rotation moves, and strategic decisions involving our prospects will define much of what's coming. We want to know your opinion. Who do you think should stay? Who could arrive? And what will be the impact in the Bronx? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to follow all the latest news and exclusive Yankees analysis.